On Sunday, what will Morris dancers do if they can't perform at the Olympics? The answer is flash mob at the Games.
Welcome back to what must be the last bit of this morning's show, where Steve, Anne and Jimmy are about to tell us who they would rather see performing at next summer's Olympic opening ceremony, Little Mix or some Morris men. There will be other acts, but for the nature of this debate, we're limiting it to those two. Only one can perform. 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts on this essential issue. It is, or it would be, the battle between the populace and the traditionalist. Last night's X Factor winners Little Mix are tipped to perform at the opening ceremony of London 2012. To the fury of the Morris Federation, who represent this country's 800 Morris dancing troops, they are determined it should be them. I don't know if you read the Mail on Sunday, but they told the newspaper, it's an amazing interview, broke my heart, how they feel angry and betrayed. Hang on, look, this is great. They feel angry and betrayed after diligently attending countless Olympic meetings, OK, to put forward their case, and yet they still haven't got the nod. In fact, I don't even think anyone's been in contact with them. Olympic organisers say it's because they haven't decided who should do what yet, but the mastermind of the ceremony, film director Danny Boyle, has said British pop, rock and film culture will be his inspiration for the opening ceremony. Bit sad about that. So should he give our Morris men a go? A culture that is quintessentially English, although found across the UK, and more than 6 centuries old. Will we still be listening to this lot in 600 years' time? I don't think so. A dicky died, oh hey, nonny, nonny, nonny. Many of my friends, not many of my friends, let me rephrase that. I have some friends who Morris dance. I live very close to Cecil Sharp House in North London, the home of English folk dance. And as part of my degree, I did study folk and folk traditions. And I feel most passionately that our Morris men should be there.
But, so do I, yeah.
Let's start with you, Steve.
Oh, God, if it's a competition between both of them, then obviously Morris men should be there. I mean, it's an odd thing, the opening ceremony. I think if you have to... It'd be interesting to look at all the mean average of other opening ceremonies and see how much kind of indigenous native dance to that particular host nation has been platformed and highlighted and spotlighted.
Glad you used the word indigenous, because we do have roots and culture.
And if it wasn't for places like Cecil Sharp House, a lot of those traditions would have completely died out. And what people, you know, it's easy to mock the whole Morris culture, but you know what, it is
Lord knows people have done it for many, many years.
But I also think that's part of the culture.
People might have mocked Irish dancing before river dance, and look what happened. Can you imagine? Thousands of Morris men.
Brilliant point.
Thousands of them doing it all sync. I think it would be fantastic.
I mean, I don't know about you.
River dance, they were so hard up having to present the Eurovision Song Contest for the 3rd time running, Ireland. The only thing they could afford in the end was just to have every Irish dancer all on stage together. And look what came out of it.
I would stress, though, the difference between Irish dancing and Morris dancing, having seen a lot of Morris dancing...
Is a cod piece and a couple of bells.
Is that there's a social aspect to it and an interaction, which means that often the dancing is less dynamic than Irish dancing.
Oh, I think that is not... That is not on.
We're getting angry now, isn't he?
Well, because, and I'll tell you what got me, is that quote that Danny Boyle has said, British pop, rock and film culture. You know, it's as though we've limited the whole of Britain's fantastic history down to 3 tiny things that have existed for 50 years.
Why can't you have a little mix of both?
Well, you
I mean, really, you think about it, look at all...
Men with sticks hitting Little Mix.
Why not? But look, we had all those choir people out there last night on the X Factor. But as an outsider, which I really can't feel British, but as an outsider looking in, I think you guys have so much culture. I would probably pick them over the Little Mix, because... But you also have Elton John, you have Paul McCartney.
Yeah, but they do everything.
I know, but you know what?
Everything.
But just like the royal family, just like all these wonderful things, institutions you guys have, the rest of the world just envies it. And putting all that on display, it's going to be an amazing Olympics.
The thing about the Morrismen as well is it's British culture that isn't always about going out and conquering other countries.
Absolutely.
It's nice and peaceful, and I'll bet you know, in Beijing when they had all those millions of drums and the drummers go, and that was so wonderful because it was so entirely in sync and everything. Well, just imagine if you had every Morris dancing troupe in the country, in the middle there, all working. It would be wonderful.
Well, you're right about Riverdance, because Riverdance just is in America exploded.
Yes, she was.
So, yeah, I think that's very cool.
When you frame it like that, why can't it? You know, whenever I've seen Morrismen, they have been in pubs, Kingsmen I've seen at Oxford a lot, I think, and it's an amazing thing to see in a village, quintessentially English setting. There's nothing to be ashamed of, our village culture and our village roots, but they don't get a look in anymore.
But if you gave it the Hollywood treatment...
Why not? Morrismen coming down on wires. Enormous sticks of steel.
Keep it lacklustre in a
huge pieces. Maybe easy on the cod pieces. Let's throw it over to you. Morrismen, a little mix.
Jan on line 1.
What would you go for, Kirsty?
I'd go for Wayne Rooney performing Shakespeare.
Flying pigs, I think. Jan, good morning. Morning, Jan.
Good morning.
What do you want?
Well, I mean, why can't we have Morrismen dancing around Little Mix? But especially for you, Matthew, why can't Cliff Richard sing in the front?
You what?
Especially for you,
right.
Why can't we have Cliff Richard singing in front of them?
Now, there's the thought. I think Hawkwind may be available, by the way.
Chaz and Dave, it's the London Olympics. Chaz and Dave, quintessentially English and London.
You only get one of them now.
You won't.
No, one of the other ones retired.
No, they've just finished a tour together.
Have they?
Yes.
I only got one
went to the last gig at the Hunter Club. I cried. A grown man crying, cried like a baby.
I would love to see them. I would love to see them.
Amazing.
But if you know how to do those dances, why not have you out
No,
there,
but
right?
I don't, because they spend a lot of time. I only know, a little bit of stick back, stick forward,
But that's so
stick on the side.
And it all means something as well, doesn't it?
Every
move means something.
It's our culture. Yeah, it's our culture. What does the audience reckon, Eric?
OK, we've got another Angela here. Hello, Angela.
Morning,
Which
Angela.
would you prefer?
Well, Little Mix may just be a one-night wonder. We may never hear from him again.
Chances are we won't. I mean, you're not getting Steve Brookstein to do the Olympic ceremony,
So the Morrismen are more traditionally British, and it is a British Olympics.
Why are we so embarrassed about our culture? Why?
I mean, if you really want to have someone good, let's have Paul McCartney, as Jimmy said, or Elton John, or Rod Stewart. They're known internationally.
But that makes our whole culture is limited to just the last 50 or 60 years. And I think the thing about
They all
Morrismen
sing in American accents as well.
Well, but we've got an opportunity to show so much more. Thank you, Angela. One last quick call.
OK, we have Belinda on line 2.
Belinda, got to be a quickie, but who would you prefer?
I would prefer the Morrismen.
Why?
Well, Little Mix have only been known for winning one competition. They don't have an established career. And who knows, in 6 months' time, they may not even be around.
Right, good point. Belinda, thank you very much. I might become an honorary Morris man off the back of that. I'm chuffed about it if I do.
Boyle is watching, because I hope he gets that message.
It's just something longer than 50 years, you know. We've got the longest, most decent history of probably anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere. We need more. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today, I'm afraid. A huge and heartfelt thank you to the one and only Mr. Jimmy Osmond.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to see you.
Always fun to be on your show. Thank
Bless you. Bless her luck with Aladdin in Wales. Where is it in Wales?
Swansea.
Swansea.
Yes, Swansea.
And the Osmonds Up Close and Personal tour starts on the 9th of March next year, carries on all the way through to May. Have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you two tomorrow for the next show. Ladies and gents, give it up for a wonderful panel. Tomorrow, my special guest is one of our most celebrated and gifted actors, the wonderful Simon Callow. And as for phone-ins, we're going to get your thoughts on the council pressuring benefits claimants to do voluntary work in the community just so they can. So after your company calls, text, tweets and emails this Monday morning. See you 9:15, 12. Bye for now.
Audience. Call us now on 0207 173 5555. Get a seat and get on TV.